Hello my dear students, let us continue with the same scene, that is Act 3 Scene 2 from your book Merchant of Venice. So there was a conversation going on between Portia and Bassanio, where Portia tries her utmost best to make not be Bassanio in haste to choose the casket. Okay, but finally he he said, no, I am not in in the process of thinking again, because I am always in the state of wrack. That means I am always being tortured by disloyalty, mistrust, by fate. So I don't want to think. Now Bassanio says what? See. Okay, so may the outward shows be least themselves, the world is still deceived with ornament. His logic for choosing the caskets is clearly mentioned here. So he says that things which are externally, that means external things, are over fascinating for him. Okay, that has no real worth. The world is always deceived by external glitter. That means those things which are shining from outside, that is all just mere decoration, is just to attract people, according to him. Okay, and again he talks about the law also. However false or corrupt or a claim may be, if it is argued by an able advocate in an attractive style, no, when there is a case being played and the advocate is very attractive, very smart, intelligent, what happens? He tries his utmost level to twist and turn the case into those avoiding all flaws. Even if the case he try, even there is to tell the lies also, he does everything in order to make the case win. Okay, like in his hand. So fast forward, that means whatever truth is, that is like carefree. He is carefree of knowing the truth also. That means the whole case lies in his hand if the advocate is very smart. No, if the advocate is very attractive style and pleasing voice, that means he can change. For example, there is an innocent who is standing and the victim is right front, and the victim holds a very advocate about whom I am talking. That means he twists and turns the case in such a way that the duke, the judge is judge along with the other people are so much mesmerized, so much pleasant by his voice, that whatever he speaks, that becomes the truth, though the thing is different. Okay, though the reality is different, but we will come to know, we will understand only that reality which will be shown by this advocate only. Okay, that means cheating. Okay. And so in religion, rank falsehood may pass for sound doctrine when some religious looking clergyman justifies it with a quotations from the Bible. And also there are some people, for example, there are big saints and all, they keep on telling what is written in the Bible, but they never they never says any false about that, right? They are only trying to say those things which will attract people. They will never talk the negative, everything will have a negative element, but they never try to speak on that. They will only speak of those positivity that is inside. Okay, that means they are again fooling people. See, everything has demerits, no? For example, like mobile phone we bring, it has lot of functions, but once it has some duration. After that, it cannot be repaired. If it is repaired also, it is very high cost. That never a retailer tell us, right? He always says the good points about the mobile phone. He never says any bad things or negative elements of that. Similarly, these clergymen also, they only speak good about their holy books. They never say these are the drawbacks, these are the disadvantages, or these that whatever minor flaws they will have, they will never try to reveal that. Okay, and no vice, perhaps palpable it may be, it's some of the outward marks of virtue. There are some cowards whose courage is as false and deceptive as the stairs of sand. So everybody in the world tries to become courageous, though they are like fear-free, they are very much fearful from inside, but they try to act, they are very fearless. Okay, they are not scared of anything. That means they are hiding their truth. No, they are only trying to show that they are very brave, they are very courageous, they can boastful, too much boasting. but who try to look as brave as Hercules or as the menacing as Mars. That means they only try to pretend what they are not. These men are really great cowards, though they grow beards of heroes in order to be regarded as a formidable fighters. And some try to imitate those real warriors or those Hercules which I am talking about, that they are very brave. But from inside they are very much like a coward they are. Okay, but they keep on boasting about them that they will be doing this, that. But when the time comes, they don't act like what they are. No, that means they are the biggest cowards according to Bassanio. Okay, and he also gives an example of a woman, beautiful woman, who is looking so attractive and beautiful, though the real face that is unseen, because she is all full of cosmetics, artificial makeup. Okay, but what about those locks, about that beauty that has come in her? That means that locks, beautiful hair that she is carrying, like that is from that person's head, which is now into the grave. That means somebody is like, usually in the parlor, no, or some big like saloons and all, they keep those hairs and they try to make a wig out of it. Wig out of those people who are not alive also, or some who are still alive, just cut the hair and then they sell it. So that means that is not their real identity. They try to imitate, they try to become artificial. Understood? That means totally different from the reality. Okay, very attractive because of the artificial face, but when we see the natural face, it is zero. Okay, that means that is just Bassanio is trying to say that outward shows are all just for attraction. That is very fascinating, but he knows the real value of the inward things. That's why he chose as lead casket. And then what he says about beauty, he says those decorations are deceptive like the treacherous shore of a sea which appears. And it's also giving an example of a treacherous shores of a sea. When we see, it's very beautiful, we go and try plunge into the water and play there, enjoy, right? But we also know the dangerous that may happen in the sea. That means beautiful but dangerous. Yes or no? In short, a clever disguise used by cunning people to mislead even the wisest of men. And there are so many wise men who are easily deceived by these foolish people. Understood? And therefore, you outwardly glittery gold. Now he speaks about each and every casket doors, okay, which could not satisfy King Midas' hunger for fruit. First he talks about the gold casket. He speaks about the gold. He says even the king also, the King Midas also could not get satisfied by the amount of gold he had. Ultimately he made himself turn to a gold, you know. So that means that was greed. That was a greed for gold. So I'll have nothing to do with you. To do with you means to do with the gold. That means for him gold is nothing, worth nothing. I will have nothing to do either with you silver, which is strikingly white but which is real and only an ordinary medium of everything exchange between man and man. That means gold is beyond many people to purchase, but silver can be purchased by every middle class or then. He says that that's a very common, understood, that's a very common thing. That means I will not choose rather between gold and silver, because that doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, and he says but you poor lads, you have to be seen threatened rather than promised. That means you are threatened by everybody. If kept, no, that means that red lead gets rusted also. That means that is so much avoided by people. Everybody avoids lead. Okay, but that's very useful. And your plainness attracts me, and that is the simplicity that you have, that is attracting me. That let me to choose you, okay, as the caskets. and therefore I choose this leaden casket. May the result of my choice be happiness and joy. And he's saying only the reason of choosing you is because of the plainness, because of the simplicity that you hold. That's it. Okay, I just my fingers crossed that you be inside, that Portia's portrait be inside you, and it get benefited me with a lot of joys and happiness. Okay, and then Portia says all other feelings such as doubts and anxieties, despair and overtakes the human heart too hastily, terror that makes one tremble and jealousy that gives a man a pale outlook, all these have now vanished into thin air. That means from inside she knows that he is correct because he is choosing the lead casket. No, that this is a soliloquy. That means she is speaking inside. She is not revealing what. That means all her pain, sorrow, because she was in, I said in the before lines, earlier lines, we came to know that she was much more nervous than Bassanio. Bassanio was not at all nervous. So she was nervous because she didn't want to lose Bassanio. Then she's saying all these pain, sorrows and whatever mysteries, everything went in air, thin air. That means, okay, she says, oh love, keep yourself within limits, restrain your wildness, shower your loves moderately and check your, she's saying, I have to keep patience, let him choose the casket, then only I'll be revealing. That means from inside she already know that he is correct. Okay, and may the result of my choice be happiness. I am overwhelmed with the blessing of love, let it be blessed, for I am afraid I have too much of it. She's saying, I am very much afraid that still yet he has not taken the choice. He may change his thinking also. I should control from showing my feelings. Okay. Bassanio, what do I find inside the casket? The door opens. Then for Portia, a demigod has been painted it to resemble the original so closely. That means you finally got Portia's portrait. Do this thing, eyes move? He's going nearby to the portrait and saying, does really this, it looks so similar, it was like real Portia was standing out there. Okay. Or this just seemed like riding on my own eyeballs. That means those eyes which were inside that portrait, does it really move? Or it is just placed there? Here are lips separated from our sweet breath. It's only proper that sweet friends be separated by a sweet bar of. That's just telling about the beauty of Portia. Is just speaking on her hair so well. It is as the painter, the spider's skill to paint innumerable independent golden hair, creating a mess to catch the hearts of men faster than the spider's wave catching gnats. That means those spider waves, it's compared to with the locks of this Portia's hair, which is very much magnificent, which is so beautiful and so fast to attract men. That means she's very beautiful. Okay, which is faster, which moves faster than the spiders. Where spider makes a gnats, similar. But her eyes, how could the painter look at them and paint them? Having painted one of the eyes, it should have too much dazzled. That means one eye made, another eye he would have lost inside that eye only. How did he make, plan to make, he's just giving what to say, he's just giving compliments to Portia's beauty and Portia, okay. Yet one can see just as praise falls far short of the beauty of the picture, so does this picture fall far behind the original whose likeness it is. Here is the writing which contains briefly mentions my fate. So okay, finally I got, and here is the writing that is written. Bassanio reads. Okay, let us stop here because the other part I will be continuing in your next class. Till then you keep on reading the lines and then also complete the exercises. Okay, thank you.